Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brain Tunes with Archana in collaboration with Radio Brain Drive. Today, I am yet again to present another episode of Brain Dancing Bytes titled Mind Power Has Replaced Manpower. This is the fourth in the series, and I have in my studios Mr. Jitendranath Mahato, who has contributed to our Brain Dancing Bytes previously as well. Welcome back to my studios, Mr. Mahato.
Thanks, Archana, for inviting me again.
Right. So, Mr. Mahato, let me share my screen and let's have a candid discussion of what is our today's episode all about. So, Brain Dancing Bytes is composed by Mr. Dilip Mukerjea, sir, who is the CEO at Braindancing International. And he is an academician, an educator, a speaker. And Braindancing Bytes, like I have explained previously, are a series of articles which he has penned down during the COVID times every single day. And these articles are replete with illustrations. These are of innumerable value to individuals, professionals, and organizations as well. So as we go further, today's topic of discussion, mind power has replaced manpower. So, Mr. Mahato, I would love to talk about the illustration on the left-hand side. Today, we are living in the pressure tense. It is all play of words. Today, present tense, pleasure, pressure, we can interpret it anyway, but undoubtedly, in the present times, we are living in the pressure tense. Placed in the pressure cooker, many things boiling over, getting under a lot of pressure, leading to confusion. What is the cost of confusion? Like the illustration states, it is a tornado, several thoughts going on in the mind, no clarity, don't know where to start, what to do. But what is the cost of confusion? Nothing. We are reduced to nothing. But what is the cost of clarity or the value of clarity? You can see how relaxed that person is lying on the couch of clarity. That is what I understand from these three pictures on the left-hand side. Mr. Mahato, would you like to throw light on this?
Okay. So if I take back to the prehistoric age when the people were living in the jungles, there was no civilization all. People didn't have anything. There, the pressure was you need to find food and shelter, and they used to live it. So there was not much pressure. As the civilization started, and people started discovering a lot of things. Like you see that the meat fell on the fire, and they discovered that okay, meat is very tasty, and they started cooking. So cooking started from there. So now you have a lot of restaurants, we have different recipes, people are discovering every day. So the competition is slowly increasing. So earlier we didn't have much of professions. And revenue was fine because the patronage was from the kings and the rulers of that time. So you have enough people for doing a job. Slowly people discovered that that same work where 10 people were able to do, that can be done by 5 people or 4 people. So that mindset was developed on the entrepreneurs or the businessman, and slowly they started reducing the resources everywhere, the people working for it. So everywhere you go, since there is a lot of competition, because you are doing X, somebody is already in Z. They have already evolved themselves, and so the pressure to be successful increases. So I would term that a lot of developments have happened, a lot of in this digitized world, a lot of things have come up, and this is given that I am doing nothing. Then the pressure comes. Okay, I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my growth. I have to grow in the organization. And I would term that as a pressure tense. So people are in too much of pressure. Whenever they see some success, okay, they get jealous. Jealousy and envy is a common thing which psychologically that is imbibed within ourselves. So generally what happens, people are in pressure thinking that, okay, I have to do. So down the you see a lot of thoughts have come. After thinking everybody is doing so much, the thoughts have come. Multiple thoughts from different corners. Nowadays, we have different channels. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have WhatsApp. We have a lot of channels we have through that we are reading. Earlier, we used to read books, then the pressure was less. But nowadays, we have a lot of channels. uh, giving small bits of information. So now then what we need to do in such scenario? And your cost of confusion, your life is hell. Your health is suffering, your relationship is suffering, your finance is suffering. You are in everywhere, in you are in problem. So that is why that person is in a clarity, he's sleeping, because he has decluttered whatever the confusion was there. So I would suggest people to find their niche. You need to have a clarity of the niche, what you want to do. That clarity to start from the school life, and they need to clear it. And when they know what they have to do, then only they will live in a peaceful, like this gentleman is sleeping under clarity. So sometimes what happened, you lived your life, you have worked enough, your family, your children, you got married to your children, but you don't get the clarity what you wanted to do life. That is why because that your ISKCON founder and the KFC founder, they have found after 60, 69 years, they found, okay, I was good in that, and they founded something. So clarity can come anything, but your process to start from now. So if you start your process now, you will be not living in the present tense, you will be living in the present tense.
Great. So the author Dilip Mukerjea sir talks about word play here, right? So if we look at the first few statements there, words modify and build by creating tension with each other. Consider Dickens, it was the best of times. So times you either interpret as best of times or the worst of times, the age of wisdom or the age of foolishness. Complete contrast what he's talking about. Use the same words, but depending on your state of mind, you interpret in different way. The epoch of belief or the epoch of incredulity. So ideas behave in much the same way is what he says. But then, although there is mayhem or confusion, just on the brink awaits clarity to emerge. So however grim the situation, there is always a ray of hope from adversity to prosperity. One has to analyze things. It is all here in the head, here in the brain. So if you look at the conversation, that first worker, is your job in jeopardy? The second one says, no, my job is secure. It is me they can do without. So that is such a sad state, right? So I think one needs to develop sustainability skills. This is what I understand from that, Mr. Mehato.
Yeah. So generally what happens, people say that you pass 10 standard, your life will be settled, 12, your life will be settled. I will say your life is never settled until unless you move out of this earth. So it never gets settled. You need to change yourself. You need to every time transition yourself, so that what you are good at, you need to do a self analysis of yourself. I'll take the example as per the paragraph. I'll take the example of the pandemic times. Pandemic times, for few people it was the best of times. They never got time to spend time with their family and kids, play with their kids. When they were working from home, they could play with the family, spend time with the family. They go out, going out started a bit late, but they can have a dinner, lunch, breakfast together. So that was the best of times for them. And it was the worst of times for some people who had, because there were a lot of layoffs, because they did not like this guy saying my job is secure. So everybody thought that my job is secure, but many people were laid off. Suppose some example there, due to online classes, some of the universities, you have the professors in the companies, when they were more than 4 or 5 people working on the same thing online, they required only 2 or 3 people. Other two incompetent people were laid off. It was the worst of times for them. Some people, it was the worst age of wisdom. So some people was the age of foolishness. So everybody has their own thought process. Same scenario, like 6 and 9. If two-person you put it, somebody will see at 6, somebody will see at 9. So similar things, depending upon the scenario, what is your mindset? If you have a growth mindset, if your mind, then you can think of growing up. So I would suggest everyone to learn every day. Every day, at the end of the day, in your diary, you should write what you learned today. Every day you should target yourself to learn something new, and the small bits of pieces growth, you can find out something new, which you will have. Like this guy, he has a clarity. So clarity doesn't start in one day. It should be day by day. You need to be consistent and know yourself. I will suggest everyone to learn every day something new, so that you can go to prosperity, you can be successful, and you cannot think of this like this guy, that my job is secure. Once you get a job, you say you are secure. You are never secure in this earth. You need to upgrade yourself. Every day you need to have a upgraded version. You did some courses, you forgot it that time, yeah, you forgot it after some time, you need to upgrade. Like small chapter. If you read a chapter once, after 3 months, 6 months, you forget it. That is normal. That is normal human being. But if you read it again, that subconscious mind, somewhere it is hidden, you will get into it. So I'll suggest everybody, develop your skills and upgrade your skills every day.
Right. So the author clearly states in the second paragraph, the era of womb to employment is over. So the maxim is changed. It's not womb to tomb, it is womb to employment. It is not over if you just secure an employment. One needs to unlearn and relearn to adapt to changing circumstances. One becomes obsolete, and you need to showcase how employable you are if you want to stay in the rat race. Otherwise, like the second worker says, the job is secure, they only don't need me. Why? You are not employable. You do not possess the requisite skills, because the dynamic digital world demands super fast adaptability, competitiveness, flexibility, and just being complacent that I was the star performer is or does not hold water anymore. This attitude is going to render one useless. And until and unless one reskills and equips oneself with the latest weapons or the tricks of trade, the game is over. That is what I understand from that, Mr. Mahato.
Okay. So the womb to tomb, why this era was there? Because people were less. People had, like, I'll tell you a small example in a village, like a barber. His barber son used to get the same work, he used to do it. A person, Purohit, he used to worship. So they used to get it. That is why it is said womb to tomb. Until you are born in that family, that is it. But that era is completely over. Now things have become very divergent. You have a lot of things to do. People are not doing it. Like many places, they have a business, they have a family business, but people are not taking it because they are thinking, I need to do something. There is no longer guarantee, and there is no longer lifelong guarantee. There is a lot of competition is there. There is a small power also enough. There are a lot of, the family is increasing, and others are venturing into that area. There are parlors, everything is coming. So there is a competition. So it says that there is no guarantee, but the guarantee is lifelong employability. So what do you understand by lifelong employability means? You need to employ yourself in various kinds of jobs at the needs of the time. You need to understand the needs of the time, and you to upgrade yourself.
Adapt and evolve. Adapt, evolve,
Yes,
or perish.
adaptability.
That is it.
Adaptability.
Right. So the author says, elasticate your possibilities. So you shouldn't have a fixed thing that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You need to be very elastic. You need to be very flexible to see that how, in what are the different angles in which I can expand. Flexibility amplifies opportunities. If you want to gain opportunities, you need to be flexible. You just cannot say that this is what I have. I want to grow in this sector only. Does not work that way. You need to adapt, because brain force has now trumped brute force. So what the author says is, be a value addition. Do not be a liability to your organization. Otherwise, you'll be laid off, just like Mr. Mahato was enumerating a few seconds ago. So be a value addition by expanding your horizons, by investing in reading more, interacting and networking with more number of people. Now, these are sure short ways of achieving success in the contemporary times and also in the decades to come, because this is here to stay.
Okay, so generally what happens, somebody achieves somebody is a topper in a university, topper in a grade, and somebody has achieved something. You should not live up to that. You should not say that I was a topper, I build up this software, I build up. You cannot live with that because somebody is coming with a better version than yourself. You need to rescale, you have to upgrade, you need to be stretchable, you need to stretch the possibilities. If you have built something, you need to upgrade it, because otherwise you have seen you cannot stand the test of time, because time is testing everyone. You today you may be a hero, tomorrow you may be zero. So you need to explore all opportunities by reading books. You have to meet different kinds of people, everybody. Even you can learn something from a small child. Even a CEO of a company learns from a fresher, because he might have a different ideas. That ideas might be helpful to the company. So you need to master different skills as per your niche. Keep creating value. You need to create value. So I would say something like Archana should have something unique skill. The company should look upon her. Any problem, if I have a problem in communication, I should look upon her. So that branding, self branding, she has to do it. If she has not done it, the problem is during the worst case scenario, worst times, she might be nowhere. Nobody will take care. She will be laid off or something. Any Nobody will care for her. So whatever achievement you have done, you have to stand up to that. You have to keep upgrading yourself so that other person is also running. You are running, then other person is also running. So we have various sources. We have a lot of communities are there. We have different skilled people. Uh, they are good at there. So learn from them. Try to improve yourself, help them out, they will also help you out. You need to build that relationship. You have to come up with a very good relationship with people which you resonate with. If you resonate with some people, have a good friendship with them and try to learn from each other and grow, so that what it is company comes with the products and services and whatever goods and services they can provide to the people to improve their pain areas. So you need to look some pain areas, some opportunity, and you need to upgrade your skill, not stand that I have got a job, I am a liability. I don't be a liability to them, thinking that the company is there. So since I have got a job, I can relax. So you cannot relax. You have to move. Again, what I said again, every day you need to learn something new. That is the only word of advice I can give it to everyone, including me. Every day you learn new things. That
Right.
is the only way to.
Agreed. So you need to keep upgrading yourselves if you want to remain in the game. Otherwise, within no time, you will not even realize when you have become redundant. That is what the second paragraph is all about. Coming to the third paragraph, Mr. Meheto, I understand, according to the author's view, even if problems seem insurmountable initially, keep moving, keep working on them. Employ your mind to work on them, because this is the most powerful device and it will keep churning out newer and better ideas as we keep working on it. The more the perspectives, the more we dwell on it, our vision becomes clearer. Once we have the vision, it develops foresight. And it is like, if you have the proper foresight, clarifies your vision, gives you insights of how to be successful. If you look at the emoticons which are there at the fag end of the articles, we may undergo several emotions, we may have several feelings or thoughts when we have a particular idea. We may feel people may ridicule us, we may be confused, people may be upset, we may be afraid of what may be the outcome, we may be confused, we may just be down in the dumps. But then have a proper thought process. If you have the proper foresight, it leads to clarity of vision, gives you insight how it should go. Your insight will ultimately lead you to success. So although we go through a myriad of emotions, nevertheless, have the never say die attitude. Keep going. Things will become clearer if we are persistent, and take one thing at a time. Break it down into smaller parts to analyze, get to the root of the problem, gradually scale up to reach the zenith. That is what I understand from the image, Mr. Meher.
Okay. So this figure reminds me of an incident in Mahabharata. If you remember the Yaksha and Yudhishthira, in between when they finished of the 12 years of exile, they were going on a Agyatwas. In disguise, they had to leave in 1 year. So during that, they met Yaksha and all the brothers died because they couldn't answer the Yaksha's question. One question was there. The Yaksha asked, what has surmounted the people of the earth? So he said, ignorance. So most of the people, we are ignorant of a lot of things. So a lot of things we are ignorant, and sometimes we suspect people for something, or we suspect ourselves that I'm not good at that. But when we know that we are good at it, we are very much ignorant. Ignorance is an what you can say is a what I can say, it's a curse. It's a curse to everyone. So we need to come out of that ignorance and have this bulb on movement. This bulb is so rightly said. We need to have the bulb on movement. We need to open our bulb and understand it. When we open our bulb means we are ready to learn. We need to learn, relearn, or unlearn. We have to unlearn and then relearn. Many concepts which I have heard from the childhood may not be right. So we need to have a bulb on movement. After that, we can go to the vision. Once we have that moment, insights, we have it, then we can go to the vision. We'll have a vision. Okay, I have to go in this direction. Once you get a direction, then you get a foresight. Okay, these are the things. Slowly, slowly, it cannot happen one day. And you require, again, I said that you have to do a self analysis. You have to have a strategy for this. You have to slowly, slowly implement it, and then you can you need to be consistent. So after you have the insight that the bulb on moment, you can have a vision. You will have a direction. You can write down your goals. Vision I will term as the goals. These are the goals. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are my things. Then you get a foresight. After you go walk the path a bit, then you get a foresight. Then you come to know, okay, this is the thing. You slowly, slowly get to know. After that, you get to know the insights of that. Sorry, I mentioned insight. Insight, you get into deep into that. Then you get the success. So here I'll tell you that to get to go to the success, it's not an easy task. So if you take an iceberg, we see only the tip of the iceberg. So people see only the success. But inside it, you have gone through depression, you have gone through a lot of brainstorming, you have got into a lot of personal issues, you have got into a lot of professional issues, but that you have gone through the path, you have walked the path. So right from your bulb on moment to vision to foresight to insight to success, you go through a lot of things. So you need to have a right attitude at that time. If you are not strong, you don't have a strong character or a right attitude at that moment, because to face those problems are the biggest those hurdles, that you require a very strong mind. You need to have a very strong mindset. You need to have a growth mindset to to face all that. Those are the you can say, if you take a road, those are the bumpers in the road. If you cannot take a bumper, your bike or car will skid off. So people only see the success. That's the ice of a tip of an iceberg. But whatever goes through, you require a lot of attitude, lot of positive attitude. You require a lot of hard work, lot of responsibilities. You go through. Your family will not believe you. Your friends will not believe you. But if when you are success, they will say, yeah, I this is was my thought. Everybody will that in Hindi we say उगते सूरज को सब प्रणाम करता. So same thing happens with that. When you are successful, your critics will become your fans.
Great. That's lovely. So perseverance is the key. Never give up. keep working on it in spite of having many confusions. Work on it to overcome each and every one and finally achieve your goal. So beautifully summed up by the author. The real box of life is out there, infinite and replete with possibilities. So the box is not your coffin. It is not the end until and unless. So it is the boundaries of existence. It is not the end. So he says it is replete with possibilities, not a coffin of dead souls. Beautifully again picturized there. As a coffin, we need to understand it is not the end. Do not bury your thoughts and ideas. Give it wings so that you succeed. And finally, I would like to pose this question to the audience. Ask yourself, like the author says, am I successful or am I a success fool? Again, a play of words here. So that is a thought that you need to dwell on, audience. In case you have any questions, comments, please be free to question here, comment here. We will be having Dilip Mukerjea sir on our show very soon, who would be taking up questions and answer them. So get up, audience. Have all of your questions ready. You will be meeting Dilip sir in flesh and clarify your doubts. So as we go further, about Dilip Mukerjea sir, he is a master of mind mapping and he has written several books to help professionals, learners. His books are included in curriculum across boards in the West, and some of his books, as I'm sharing here, the links are shared in the description below. He has been instrumental in formulating books for UPSC as well. So you can see the unique titles that he has given them. Golden Souls, The Learning Sanctuary, Memorhythmics, Brainaissance, Surfing the Intellect. So just go explore this wealth of knowledge, increase your knowledge. So that is about today's article. And thank you so much, Mr. Mehato, for being a part of our show. Looking forward to meeting you back again on Brain Tunes with Archana, doing brain dancing Bytes. This is in collaboration with Radio Brain Drive. Thank you, Mr. Mehato.
Thanks, Archana. Thanks, Archana, for calling me again for the Brain Tunes with Archana. I would love to be in your show again and again.